live YouTube with the Radio Azad family. All right, so we're getting back into mansplaining, which is great.
True. And we're kind of shifting gears a bit and taking you towards more deeper, meaningful stuff. And we're going to talk a little bit of love and relationships. So my question to you over there is that, how do men approach love? Like, is it different than how women approach love? You guys take longer to commit on a general basis.
Why?
Is that something that's just
Why?
that's there because you're a male, you're a guy, or do you guys think
so
things through differently?
Well, I think generally speaking, I don't want to generalize, but it's about our attachment styles, right? So we're either anxiously attached because we didn't receive the love and attention that we did as children, or we're anxiously attached because we received way too much attention and love, and it infringes upon our independence. And so, it's interesting because guys don't know how relationships work in the first place because we're very objective focused. And to be able to put a man into a room filled with women who have these emotional needs and we don't know what the problem is, it just confuses men completely. And so you have to rewire your brain to be able to have emotionally intelligent, loving and kind relationships that you are able to be vulnerable in a way that you trust everybody around you. And so men just don't know how to trust, so they just don't. And so that's why they don't jump into these types of relationships, is because they say, okay, like how can I actually get this person if they're not actually doing the thing that I need them to do? How do I trust this person just in that dynamic? And it doesn't work a lot of times because a woman is not going to say, hey, trust me with this. They're never going to say it, right? They'll always prove it with their actions, or they'll prove it by like supporting you in certain ways. They prove it through other means. But a guy needs to hear, hey, I got this, trust me. And a woman will never say that, right? In most cases. And so it's really hard to create that trust and dynamic and for a man to actually like jump in both feet first from that standpoint.
So do you think that you guys fall in love, but you just say it later? Or is that what I'm hearing you say?
Guys are hopeless romantics, man. I mean, I know that you guys don't, but every single crazy movie, Bollywood movie, is about a guy that's falling crazy in love. You think about Devdas, you think about, Silsila Ye Chahat Ka, right? Like it's men who just have no emotional regulation.
In that context,
I think men want to be in a constant state of love.
Yes.
Which is why they keep flitting.
Need it. You think about men and how loved they were by their mothers. That is there's this interesting thing that Denzel Washington said. He said, a mother's first love is her husband, right? But a mother's last love is her son.
Yeah.
And especially that firstborn son. You think about Giannis's relationship with you, like, oh my God, like how do you put a woman in that dynamic? And he's looking for that level of love. He's looking for how do I get loved the way that my mom loved me? And that's huge shoes to fill. So to be able to trust somebody to do that, and then when you try to find it and you think you found it, oh my gosh, what regulation do you have? You're jumping in head first, and you have not even figured out how deep the water is.
How do you know that this is it?
You don't. You never do. And that's the courageous part of falling in love. That's the bravery. When you think about Braveheart, what men do in these relationships. And you guys see it with me. How often, how many times have you guys seen me like fall in love or like be with, a person that I think is very special? And it's because there's this undying need to want to be loved, to want to be needed, to want to be connected,
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Right. And when it comes to communication and expression, why do men hold back? Is it that whole vulnerability thing?
I think men, because we're so simple, it's so easy to also misunderstand us. And so you guys see it all the time with me. I'm constantly misunderstood, and I'm okay with that, right? I'm okay with, hey, this person didn't understand what I was saying. Most men can't handle that. They're like, oh man, like rather than being misunderstood, I'd rather just shut my mouth, don't say anything. I'm never going to get it right. Yes, sir. Right. That's the whole thing is, in the army, right? For example, like you're just getting yelled at all day and you don't want to deal with it anymore. So what do? Eventually you just stop talking so that people stop blaming you for everything. And there's so many interesting dynamics, especially when women who have so many different perspectives are saying, have you thought about this? But did you realize that you did this when you did this and when you said this? And it's like, I give up. I can't get it right. It's too much. And so if you tell me this led to this and I could see cause and effect versus causes and many effects, it's just overwhelming for most men, and they're not able to handle it. And so it shuts them down.
Yeah. And also, like, I've noticed, like, see, like, it's a very mundane day-to-day thing. But if I had to ask my husband about how his day was, I would get like, fine, that's it. But whereas I am so detailed about my day, so why do you
intimacy.
think? Yeah. So why is that not something that is?
Then what should we ask?
Yeah.
If not, how was your day?
Yeah. You have to ask, like, what problem he solved, right? Or what do you? Hey, this is what I enjoy, right? So hey,
from Shan.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, how did you think about solving this thing? How did you think about solving this thing? If you think about men, what do they want to do? They want to skill up. They want to show their skills. What is the best skill that they can do? Thinking about the problem, how to solve it. How did you attack this problem? That turns a woman off right away. They don't care. They want just the information.
Yes.
They want to have the discussion. But we're actually speaking the same language, but in
just
a different
approached
way.
differently,
The approach is different, right? So it's, hey, I know that you're trying to solve this problem. How did you approach this problem today? And like, what were you thinking about? Oh, well, that gets me. It gets me excited even thinking about solving a problem right now. You know, it's like, oh yeah, well, I thought about this and then I did this and blah, blah. And then you'll get all the information. Oh, and I talked to this person about this thing and this is what they did wrong or right, blah, blah. But the question, it's the question. Right.
It's how you phrase it.
So would you think that in a situation where you had to choose between a boss that you have that kind of talks nonstop and tells you how it is, and just as you described the army, you just blasted off, whereas you come home and you get this silent treatment from your wife who then, or your partner, and you're just no talking, no nothing, just complete clam up, what would you choose? Would you prefer the silence or
I guess it's the love language. Right? Like we all have love languages. And for me, it's quality of time. And so I'm always trying to spend as much time as I can with my significant other and physical touch. Right. So like if I'm around that person and we're like holding hands or we're touching and we're talking, oh my gosh, that's all I need. But with other people, they need acts of service, so they walk in and if you have chai ready for them, then maybe that will not let them clam up. Right. It's like, oh, here's chai. And they're like, oh my God, okay, now I can talk about my day. So it just depends on that dynamic.
But I think the important thing is that you have to know what they want, and sometimes you have to communicate what you want.
And often it's not what you want.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, most often it's not.
Because love languages are different. Right. Exactly.
So why do men fall for why do men fall for anyone who gives them attention or stokes their ego?
Because that's what their mom did. That's what their mother did.
That's what they're looking for.
Right? It's you're my little hero. Hey hero, kya kar rahi ho? Wapis thoda nacho. It's like, and that's it, and so you get a little bit of you get a little bit of attention, you get a little bit of love from someone that
we're getting a call.
Oh, we're getting a call. Yeah.
You can give us a call back 972-501-9390.
Yeah. Or just tap it on the app.
Yes. Absolutely.
So you get a little bit of love, you get a little bit of attention, and it goes such a long way because you feel connected to a woman, that is actually genuinely showing you something that reminds you of your childhood, that reminds you of your mom. And I think that's where the basis is. Not saying that happens all the time with everyone, right? But at least that's the most genuine part of it.
Yeah. So I've got a listener who's written a message saying, "Please tell Shan that he solved a big puzzle for me today. Otherwise, I was always thinking that why men do not like me, but it's just because now I know that I piss them off."
So,
Yes.
on that
yeah.
note, why do men feel threatened by intelligent women?
This is really interesting because I love an intelligent woman. That's all I want, is like to be able to have high intellectual, intelligent conversations with women, because I am so comfortable in that dynamic.
That's why you love talking to us.
This to me is candy. Like I'm a kid in a candy store hanging out with you guys. I love this. The challenge is that most men don't get this. What do they get? What is the relationship that most boys have with their mothers? Kya khana hai? Are you thirsty? Like, what do you need? And it's just transactional.
Yeah.
It's not, you're not sitting with your mother having deep, loving conversations.
Mhm.
It just doesn't happen between
You're
a
right.
son and a mother. So how do you expect that son to then suddenly have this insane, amazing relationship with a woman? It doesn't happen. It won't happen.
Our caller is back.
Mothers, you need to have deep, loving conversations with your sons so that they can develop that and translate that into the relationships that they have with other women. All right, caller, you are on Radio Azad. You are live.
You have to turn the slider.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Wait 1 second. Yep. Slide it on. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I was just listening to three of you.
Yes.
Both of us three.
Aisha is laughing. And I heard Tasneem laughing too.
Yes.
Yes.
I would say that men's brain wiring is so different than we female have.
Yes.
So I asked my husband the same thing, and the brief answer is everything is okay
All is well.
most of the time.
Yeah.
And the thing is that he doesn't show his emotions. He doesn't discuss many things. He keep quiet until the end results, will show up. Then say, okay. But I express myself about everything, that, in many scenarios. But the thing is that and his most famous quote is that men need projects all the time till he die. So he wants to get himself busy all the time in something.
Projects. Yes.
Projects, and he doesn't like to live a life without anything happening. So most of his life, he was busy, and he makes me busy all the time.
This is brilliant. Yeah.
And you would say luckily or not luckily, I work with him, so I know.
I love that.
How do men think?
Yeah.
And how we are emotional beings. We need conversation, human touch, human, like energy. But guys, he loves to talk and he loves to interact. But if he is doing something, he's happy with himself. Just he doesn't need anything around, just good food or. But when I talk to my nephews also, they will also accept one who will give me all the details and he will talk about everything.
Yeah.
Other than, things are good. That's all. We were busy and not much. So I think we both male and female are totally different species. Like brain wiring is different. The energy patterns are different. The thinking, the upbringing, and plus the society, when they put the stigma that you are macho or you are, like they have big egos and they get angry so easily. So all those things, I think the things which they learn from the society, from the upbringing, from the parents, it shows up in their personality when they become adults. So I don't know. We have to understand each other. So, but living with my husband for many, many years, at times I think I haven't understood him.
Yeah, this is. I'm going to address this. Okay, this is brilliant.
All
Okay,
right, Shanazi,
Shanaz,
thank you.
Okay, thank you
All
so
right.
much.
All right, this is brilliant. Okay, so Shanazji said that the wiring is different, but we're completely different species. I don't agree with this. So I think that everyone is longing for love and connection, just like you had mentioned with how men act in relationships. The challenge here is when are men able, like if a woman is not able to express herself, and she feels, because my sister goes through this, Hina, every single time she's in a room with me and Moise, she feels like she can't talk because everything that she says, it gets scrutinized, it gets analyzed. It's like, hey, why did you do this, not this, blah, blah, blah. So Hina shuts down, and me and Moise had to learn to stop talking and stop asking questions. But Hina, in that case, in that scenario, Hina's the man. Hina's the man that's just doing her thing. She's in the corner. She doesn't say much. What does Hina want? Hina wants to be able to be herself. Hina wants to be able to express herself. She wants to be able to be open and free and just say what she's thinking. Same with men. Men want to do the same exact thing. They don't feel comfortable in being able to do that because the second they open their mouth, they're going to get judged. They're going to get, something is going to be thrown back at them, and it's going to turn them off. And so what does Hina do all day? My sister runs errands all day. Picking up Arya, taking her to this, taking my mom to a doctor's appointment, doing the, Hina's the man. And she is not happy because she's just running errands all day and doing stuff. And, I deal a lot with cancer patients, right? I'm in precision oncology. And I used to work a lot with MD Anderson, like all the top medical City of Hope and things of that sort. Whenever I would go to MD Anderson, I would stay at the Hampton Inn across the street. And there was a shuttle that would go back and forth to the hospital. And I would just start, because I'm a social guy, I would make friends with all the patients. And they would be going for their treatments and things of that sort. And I started learning to ask this question. I said, when did you start cancering? Because cancer is a verb, right? You're either cancering or you're not, right? And they would start telling me these stories of, I realized I started cancering when this happened. A lot of those things have to do with closed off emotions that you're just running rampant in your body. And then what happens? A tumor forms, right? Or
the mind-body connection.
It's a mind-body connection that destroys your DNA in a way that it's uncontrollable. And then you get uncontrollable growth that turns into a tumor, a cancer. And that story, whether it's a male or female, whatever it is, a mother, a daughter, a grandmother, it's this unrealized trauma, this unrealized expression that they cannot express in any other circumstance. And it shows up in certain ways. The lady, I remember there was this lady that was managing our building, and she had rectal cancer. And it was this whole idea of letting things go. She was not able, she remembered every trauma that happened to her from the age of 7, and she was like 53. And then she was diagnosed with rectal cancer, and she would never let things go. And it's like, okay, well, that's where it showed up.
That's where it manifests itself.
So, these are really important things, and everybody wants to express themselves. Everybody wants room to be able to say what they want to say without judgment.
So I want to go back to that example that you gave with your sister and being in a room with the two of you.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not that she's the man in that point of view. Maybe, she is very much the woman,
right?
But men, I think, tend to be very aggressive and dominating the conversation with questions and seeing things in a very, very logical, process-oriented way, right? And she feels intimidated by that, so she cannot express herself fully.
Yes.
I remember this in classrooms, right? Because I went to a women's college, and everybody was just, they were all women, so we would all talk and speak up. But where there were classes where we would have some men in the class, the women would just shut up. Those same women would shut up,
right.
Even though the men were the least aggressive, but just the presence was there to intimidate women. So I think a lot of it is the way we have actually been socialized.
Yes. And I think it goes the opposite way too. Sometimes when there's many women in a room, guys don't know how to handle themselves.
Yeah.
And they feel
They
intimidated.
feel intimidated for sure.
So we're doing the same thing to each other.
Yeah.
And that's the interesting part of the conversation, I think.
I think another point that somebody brought up in all our conversations was that men tend to get angry. What is the deal that is going on these days with these aggressive, angry men? And what's triggering all this?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say it on radio, but can I try? Okay.
You can try.
God help us.
The relations that men and women used to have, we're not having those relations anymore. And men don't know, and so it gets very frustrating, whenever there's a lack of that in your life, and then relationships start straining. Men don't even reach out to women anymore. Women feel, because I feel women are, because they're so educated, they're finding their way through life. They don't have to fit those roles anymore. It's so much easier for a woman to be single and to not talk to men, and say, hey, I can provide for myself. And while I'm providing for myself, I'm traveling the world. I'm meeting whoever I want to meet. I'm so free. And I'm really learning about who I am and what I'm doing with the resources that I've been able to create through my mind and through my education and what's been given to me. And now I don't have kids that are bogging me down either. So I can do whatever I want. And I'm 35 and I feel great, because 35 doesn't feel like 35 20 years ago. When you're 35 as a woman, single now, you feel 25. And
you're absolutely
and you got money,
right.
And you're doing whatever you want.
And you're doing well for yourself and everything.
The happiest cohort is single, childless women.
Yes.
This is a bad thing for society.
Yes, but imagine how low the threshold was for women at 35, and now you release that, and you say, "Oh my God, you're just as happy as men are." But the delta was so huge that it's like, of course they're the happiest, because they got to experience what we're experiencing, or what I'm experiencing, right? Like, I'm a 40-year-old man that gets to travel the world, do whatever I want, well educated, shukr alhamdulillah, like pretty decently good looking, right? Like, good smile.
He needs an affirmation.
Right? No. I mean, I feel like I'm a 7, right?
Definitely the best
7.5.
looking.
Okay. But good smile, like good personality, charisma, like all those things. And I could go anywhere in the world and I could fit in just because I'm light enough that I'm not a threat. I got this curly hair, so people don't know what that I'm Pakistani or Indian or Middle Eastern or Italian or European. They don't know. And so I'm able to fit wherever and I am so happy. Like, I've never not wanted to be in a relationship so bad in my life, and I'm 40. Imagine that happening to women who are just as educated, in their late 20s, early 30s, where they're getting pressured by their families to have children, to raise families, all those. And they're saying, wow, I can actually have this level of happiness independently by myself.
Without all
Why would I ever want to have kids? And so we're going to go through that era. The next 10, 15, 20 years is going to be that. And now, after that, you're going to have an AI partner. You don't even need a man.
Yeah.
Let's take a
I
call.
just saw a reel on Instagram with an AI marriage. Married an AI. Yeah.
Why would a woman need anybody else other than someone that can listen to her, talk to it, and all? Same with a man, right?
Because that's what they're finding, that AI does a lot of confirmation bias.
Yes.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you want somebody who agrees with
Agrees
all
with
your
all
biases?
ChatGPT. Live on here, you're on Radio Azad.
Yes, Shan, I would like to ask one more question.
Ask as many questions as you like.
You have less time left now. So I would ask that how to bring a very rigid-minded person come to a table to have a mutual things, to do together, or agree to some points, because I have noticed that some of the men, they have made up their minds. They are inside themselves. They have rigidity that if they think that they will become flexible, people will take advantage, or whatever you can say that the thinking is. But how to bring them to the table to negotiate or to make them understand? What are the easy ways?
Yeah.
Maybe
this is
Tasneem
brilliant.
or you or anybody can answer that.
I
Thank
love
you.
this. What a great question. Okay. Yes. You want to go first?
All yours.
Okay. So everybody wants to express themselves. The reason why people become rigid, men or women, right? I take my sister for an example because she knows how stubborn she is. But Nazish is also very stubborn, right? Like the reason why is because that is what's certain to them. So certainty is the thing. And vulnerability and being open-minded and opening your heart to other perspectives is very difficult when you're saying, I know I'm right, and this is certain because I'm scared. I'm scared to even see what's on the other side of this. So we have to face the fear. We have to be courageous enough to say, this is what I'm actually scared of. And this is why I'm so attached to this way of thinking, or this is why I'm so attached to this result, is because I'm scared to look back and say, maybe I wasn't right. Maybe I wasn't a good person. Maybe I did say something wrong. Maybe I did do something wrong. And I don't want to be punished for that. And so to be able to create a safe, loving, and vulnerable environment where you can explore these ideas is the most important thing for both sexes, whether it's male or female.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree.
Dude, I
and
got
also-
this so good. This is like, wow. Shan, you're so smart.
I know. She's
Shan
like,
is so
I'm
smart.
seeing a side of him, which is like,
She thinks I'm a joker, like that I don't know anything about it. So this is so good because you thought this was going to go a different way. This is so
Yeah.
funny.
You've not seen this
The
serious.
Tasneem's
right?
expectations were to
no.
the floor.
What?
Tasneem
yeah,
had,
I mean, I've seen
This
his
is-
fun side. I've not seen this side of
this
Shan.
is so good.
This is good stuff.
Look at her eyes and the way she looks at you. Like, it's so amazing.
she's like,
you were
this
like
is
so
an
proud of
enigma.
me. I love
Yeah.
this. It's so genuine.
And I think I could just add a layer to that and say that, a lot of times rigidity also comes from deep hurt,
Yes, It's pain.
unresolved trauma.
100%.
And many times we close up because we do not want that vulnerability to surface again because we've just been hurt so bad. So I think if you ever are opening up that platform or table for anyone to come, you'd have to first address that hurt.
Yes.
In order for the person to actually even talk about the problem at hand. And there's a quote in Gujarati that we always say, which is "Je nama rab ne gama," which is the one who bends over
We have a comment.
is the one that God loves more. Because I feel at times, and I always have said that on our previous shows too, that you cannot deny the person how they're feeling.
Wow. Brilliant.
Period.
I love it.
I
Yeah.
think also there is a lack of self-awareness among people who are rigid.
Yes.
A lot of times they may not even know they
Yeah.
are being rigid.
Well, I don't think they want to be aware. It's a defense mechanism of not wanting to. Hey, don't tell me. I don't want to be aware.
Yeah.
This is how I'm going to do it.
This is how I'm doing it. I'm right, and this is how it's going to be.
Yes.
Radio Azad, you're on the air.
Hey, Islam Mashaji, this is Umair again.
Yes,
Hello,
man. What's going
man.
on, brother?
Hey, man. So I was listening this part of the conversation. I had a meeting, then I had to come back and listen. So what you mentioned, Shan, about in the future people will have AI, companions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sure, that's something that I saw that in TikTok as well.
Yeah, I
But
saw it too.
you can't replace a human life part. The things that human life partner provides for you, right? I understand what you're saying is that you're 35 and you're having the best time of your life and you're single and all that stuff. But I'm just trying to say maybe I got that wrong from you. The impression that the people who are married or have a life partner does not enjoy their life. I want to make sure they do as well.
Of course, man. You made a good decision. No, you have a beautiful family. You have an amazing
I'm
life.
just saying from the other perspective as well.
Yes.
Right? From that well. But yes, from the AI perspective, that's really messed up. If somebody wants to have an AI companion and have all the stuff that they can do with the life partner, but with the AI, that's a completely different debate. But just wanted to share my thoughts. But
I think that should be a show.
Yeah,
that definitely could
Yeah,
be.
we could actually.
Where
what
we'll get
AI
you
cannot
next time
do
on the
that
show
a
with
human
us.
can do. for you.
Yeah. There's
So much stuff. Just walking with somebody, holding hands, and taking a long walk at the beach. AI cannot do that, right?
Wow.
That That's something that, minimal things like these.
No.
The AI cannot do that. So
All
they will,
right.
yes, what you said, they will respond to yes on everything, but probably what you say. And then probably.
Oops, sorry. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
Radio Azad, you're on the air.
Yes, I'm enjoying the topic. This is a lighter question. Why do men brag about their affairs with
What?
women, and they
Men
think
brag
it's the
about their affairs.
feather in the hat,
All right. Thank you.
whereas women just keep quiet about it, and they're so modest they don't even want to mention to their best friends also.
Wow.
Interesting question.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yes.
Why, Shan?
Why?
Well,
Great.
because
You
I
tell
think
us.
with men, right? Like you guys know that you guys make one egg a month, and we have billions, right? that we create.
No.
Well, I mean,
I
in
mean,
terms
yeah, of course, in terms of-
physiological. The thing is that evolutionarily, I don't know if monogamy was something that was designed, right? Men, or not men, but humans are traveling species, right? We're very curious, and so we go around the world and we travel. And so for a man to have many partners, it's just in our mind that we are more successful in society, right? And that just hasn't left, because religion has said, hey, look, this is one man, one woman, right? And you guys need to be together forever. It was really interesting because this ties into also what
I want your answer to that.
yeah. It's interesting because like Umair talked about, the other side of this. And I was married. I was happily married. If I was still married, I think about this. If I was still married to that woman, I would still be very happy, because I just knew what my life would be like, and I accepted it, and it was great. And I knew that we were going to change, and we are going to be together, and it was going to be fine. But this is a different life now, and I'm great, and I'm happy in this life. I think the challenge is when you think about that dynamic, right? Like, how do you, one man, one woman versus one man, many women, and that pride that men have to say, oh yeah, this one, that one. I think it's just a matter of time until women have that too, because there's going to be this level of freedom that women are now exploring, to say, oh yeah, I talk to whoever, and I do whatever I want to do. And that, just like the joy that you get when you're 35 and you're single and, you don't have children as a woman, it's going to be the same evolution where women are going to say, yeah, I've got many partners, and I have many affairs, and I do whatever I want. Ego. Yes.
That's the biggest thing. What's a request has come to get you back on another show,
Yes.
Shan. So,
Please,
okay. What's the best way to give men feedback?
Same as women. What is the best way to give women feedback? What do you guys think?
No, I think there's a difference.
Okay, tell me.
I mean, for women, I feel that that's what I even share on air every time, which is the feedback sandwich. I think we always like to be told what we did correctly first. Specifically, be specific, like you did. This segment of this show, you was really well done. I loved your points there, especially that point on XYZ.
Wow.
Brilliantly said. What I think can really, notch your show up even better is next time if you add ABC. But overall, you're such a great, valuable asset to Radio Azad.
That's the sandwich. That's the sandwich.
That's the sandwich.
Yeah.
You know what my mom used to do? I don't want to get emotional. Jeez. Oof. Okay. My mom is the greatest human being that's ever walked this earth, by far. I don't know anyone better. Whenever I would do something wrong, I remember she would take me to Brahms, and we would have ice cream. And I didn't know it was coming, right? But she would make sure that I had something sweet in my mouth, before she gave me that feedback. And we would talk about it for hours. It wasn't like, this is like, a point. We had a session. We had a discussion around it. And so I felt safe for a long time, and we were able to get it all out. And so, I think when men are prepared to have the conversation, they're kind of like mentally, and it's not, hey, we need to talk. Oh my God, that's the worst. Don't do that. Right. But you're put into a situation, and then you're given enough time where there's no other stresses on. And then you say,
so how do you prepare a man then? Like, if you don't tell him that we need to talk, then you would just take him to I know you give him,
take him to Brahms.
you gave an ice cream example, but like say, take my husband to his favorite dinner joint and then start the conversation.
Yeah. And make sure he's relaxed and he's okay, and that he's not being attacked in a negative way. But you say, hey, like, okay, hey, we're here. here. We're safe. Everything's good. You're in a safe environment. I'm not here to attack you. Now let's have this conversation, right? And you obviously can't be frustrated at the same time that he's frustrated.
Yeah.
And so
I think that's very important.
Because then that turns into a fight, right? That's the formula for a fight. Like, two hot people can't be in the same room. And so you can't, what is it? You can't extinguish a fire with gasoline, right? So you have to figure out how to calm down before you have this conversation. And that's what I can't imagine how upset my mom was many times. And then she had to take me to Brahms and feed me ice cream and pay for it and take time out of her day to address something that I did wrong. What an incredible human being. What a gem that she taught me this without even trying to teach me this. Like, wow.
Instead of a smack.
Yes.
Right?
Instead of a chuckle, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Exactly.
Which is the easiest way. That's the quick way.
Yeah, like
Lashing
we
out
always
is
say,
so
like,
easy.
even in parenting, not every moment is a teaching moment.
Yeah.
So you've got to curate that teaching moment that is best suited to your child. And I think your mom did that brilliantly.
She's like, do I want a relationship or do I want a discipline? I'll give you an example. I don't tell this, but I'm telling the world now. Okay. I'm telling the world now. Okay. When I was in 10th grade, I failed chemistry and geometry. Both. Okay. I'm a molecular genetics graduate from Baylor University, so I did fine.
Yeah.
But my GPA was 1.6. I had a 1.6 GPA in 10th grade. And I come home. My mom's never home because I was a latchkey kid. My mom would work 14 hours a day. And I come home. She's sitting on the couch. One hand, she has a chappal, and the other is my report card.
Oh
I
my
knew it was
God.
coming. And so I look at my room, but I was like, I know I can get the chappal thrown at me and I can make it into the room and just lock myself in, right? She said, no, come sit down. She put the chappal down. And she said, I can work my hands to the bone, but I cannot do your homework for you. It's now up to you. Whatever you want to do, you make the decision. And I was like, I got to get my life together. 10th grade. I'm 15 years old. And I'm like, okay, now I have to take responsibility because I can't do this anymore. So like, just the way she did it, man.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason I should be a good kid. There's no reason I should have any success in my life. It was only because of the women that raised me, that asked me to step up, to solve the problem. You know what I mean? She framed it in a way where she's like, Ali, you can solve the problem. If you want to solve it, this is the problem. 1.6 is a problem. Do you want to solve it? You solve it. And I was like, okay, I'll do it.
But I think that is kudos to you that you did step up and you did solve the problem and you put your ego aside and you went on this journey. There are a lot of people who will not do that and they'll stick to their ego and say, you know what? It's my way or the highway.
But I was given the
motivation
purpose.
Yeah.
A lot of these people don't have purpose. They're like, whatever I do, it doesn't make a difference anyway. What my mom showed me is everything you do will make a difference because my hands can't work anymore. And so that changed my life.
Well, what an amazing mom that she's produced an amazing child.
Man, if we ever lose
she did
her,
something right.
Man, if we ever lose her, man.
She did something right. All
We can't
right,
lose her.
Shan, it's been a fantastic conversation with you. And what great insight you've given us. And you can't end the show with tears in your eyes.
No, it's my mom, you know.
Yeah, and I think
So let's
feel
just
that
end
way.
it on a fun question.
Yes.
And fun for us, maybe not for you. But what's your most embarrassing moment when you've tried to impress someone?
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
That is,
Oh my God.
I mean, I do it all the time. Like this is like Tuesday for me, you know.
Yeah, something that just pops up in your head right now. Like when you try to be nice or impress someone, it just kind of backfired big time, and you're like, okay, moving on.
Yeah, I can't actually think of a moment, but you know, the thing is that I think about embarrassing moments and how great of a story it'll make, which is why I lean into embarrassing moments. So, I mean, you guys can think of embarrassing.
I can't think of one.
I mean, Azad Bhai literally posts me dancing like an idiot while Madiha is like video recording me. And I'm like, I have to do this because this is going to mean more than this moment. It's going to be more than my life. It's going to take a life of its own. And I'm here to show up for it because I really believe in this word amana, right? I've been given this trust to have this life, to have this perspective, to have everything that's been somehow given to me. And I have to just give it my all, even if I don't want to, even if it's not the funnest moment for me. But, Khudavan says, Sultan Mocha said, struggle is the meaning of life. Defeat or victory is in the hands of God, but struggle itself is man's duty and should be his joy. Should be his joy. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, this is going to be a struggle, but how do I make this into joy, right? How do I squeeze this lemon and just make this the best it can? This whole trip. Do you know how this whole trip started?
No.
I missed my flight from Los Angeles to Dallas because it was in a different terminal and I had to take a bus to it. I missed my flight by 3 minutes going from LAX to Dallas.
Okay.
And they didn't reimburse me. They didn't put me on the next flight. They said, you have to buy a new ticket. I said, okay, well, how do I make, now it's lemonade, right? How do I make lemonade? And so I found a ticket going from LAX to Rome for $250.
Oh, wow.
And I said, I have a backpack and I have my passport with me. Let's go. And I went to Rome. I landed in Rome and one of my best friends said, Raheem's family is at the Marriott vacationing in Rome. I texted Raheem. He's like, yeah, dude, come to the Marriott. Let's go hang out. We went to the Trevi Fountain. We did like all the fun stuff with the family. And I felt so connected and so loved. And then I was like, where do I go from here? He said, go to Croatia. I found a $50 ticket from Rome to Croatia, to Dubrovnik. And then I get to Dubrovnik and this guy gives me all the itinerary of exactly where I need. I went to Montenegro. I went to Bosnia and it was the best trip ever.
Adopted a dog.
I almost adopted a dog.
Yes, I heard about that.
I
But
love that dog.
that's something about you that I think I mentioned to you a few months ago that I really admire about you. And I wonder how you've picked that up, like this ability to be so fearlessly you.
Spontaneous.
I mean,
Yeah.
you are so shamelessly you that it's almost endearing on most days.
Amen.
So, I mean, that's something that I'd love to imbibe from you. I think because we, or at least if I speak for myself, I'm so, with this crowd, I am this. With that crowd, so I have a very few real close friends or people that I call my tribe with who I'm me, like just me in all my avatars.
Yes.
Whereas you're you in all your avatars with everybody.
All the time.
And that I find very amazing.
You know what's really interesting is you think about that word amana, and it's when you have faith, then you cannot question what God has in your plan. You just have to do the thing. And you have to trust God. Faith is trust. And if you don't have the trust, and if I've been given the trust, I must trust. Right. So if I believe that God trusted me with whatever talents I have, then I must trust God that He has whatever
He has a plan.
whatever he, she, whatever. Right. Yeah. All right. Live
Last caller.
Yes, last caller. Go ahead.
Radio Azad, you're on the air.
Anji, what a fabulous show. Oh my God, wow to you, because I was doing my treadmill and I listened to everything. Or एक जुमला जो है ना, literally Ayesha, Tasneem and Shan. The reel from my life started running. And I was like, okay, about the relationship, about the saying, let's talk, and on a kitchen table, instead of dealing with have relationship, not the controlling thing. You want to discipline your child or you want to have a relationship with your child.
Yeah.
Yes.
एक जो जुमला है ना, it made such an impact on me, and thank you for bringing him. And I think it will be really good idea. Once in a while he comes, and then we can see and we can understand, because we have young sons. We have to also understand them for their families, how their relationship will work also.
Yeah.
How they think and how they will work. Jitna bhi main kahun na, it's less for today's show.
Wow.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
guys.
much,
Shaida
Shaida ji. All
Amen.
right. And
Have a
thank you.
great day.
Amen.
All right, Shan, thank you so much for
Man,
being on the
so
show.
nice.
I guess we'll have to get you back.
Yes, we do. I think once in a while,
Yes.
this is going to really work well, and you add such a new dimension to all that we do, and it's such a pleasure
You
to have
guys,
had you today.
everything that you guys do, you have no idea how much people love and admire you both. And to be, in a certain generation, in a certain category, to be able to be so open-minded and to just take in perspectives, even the ability to invite me onto this platform just speaks to how brilliant both of you are, and how needed everything that you guys say is absolutely needed, especially in our community. And so kudos to both of you.
Thank you.
I want to
Very
give you
kind.
all the flowers.
Oh,
Thank
no,
you.
thank you.
so
We want
much.
to be you at the next